Welcome children. We are in part 2 periodic classification of elements. Till now we have discussed about the anomalies and merits of Mendeleev's periodic table. Now we are going to discuss about the modern periodic law. Let us see what are the demerits that could not be explained by Mendeleev. We know that the present classification of elements is based on the atomic numbers of elements. That means it depends upon the increasing order of electronic configuration. Also, the number of electrons and protons in an atom are equal. So we can say the atomic number of the atom, the atomic number of the element is equal to the number of electrons in the atom. The significance of atomic number in the classification of elements is that being equal to number of electrons in an atom. For example, hydrogen. It is given first position because it has only one proton and one electron. So, number of protons is equal to number of electrons. Number of electrons is equal to atomic number. So, in the same way, the present basis for the classification of elements is their electronic configuration. It was discovery of the atomic number which led the change in the modern periodic law. So, till now we have discussed what is the Mendeleev's periodic law. Now we are going to see what is the modern periodic law. Before that, we are going to see what are the present periodic table, how it was framed and how it has been completely rectified the demerits of Mendeleev's periodic table. Here in the modern periodic table, the explanation for the position of proper isotopes was given. For example, all the isotopes of an element have the same number of protons, so their atomic number is also the same. As I told you, every element, let us say hydrogen, its atomic number is 1. Here we have 3 types of hydrogens, that is H11, H12, H13. That means H12. 1 means H11, it is called protium. It has 1 electron, 1 proton and 0 neutrons, that is 1 minus 1. So if you see, it is called protium. We have another type of hydrogen, but it is also hydrogen element. We call it as H12 or deuterium. In deuterium, we have 2 protons and we have only 1 proton, 1 electron, and if you subtract 2 minus 1, you have 1 neutron. In protium, 0 neutrons. In deuterium, 1 neutron. Like that, we have tritium also H13. 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. So, here number of neutrons are 2. So, all these protium, deuterium and tritium belongs to hydrogen. They can be placed in the same position. But in the Mendeleev's periodic table, gaps were left over because there is no proper position for the isotopes to be placed. But in the modern periodic table, they have embedded all these isotopes belonging to one element in one box and is given as only one atomic number. For example, the chlorine isotopes, chlorine 1735. 17 is the atomic number, 35 is the atomic mass of chlorine. We have here 2 isotopes of chlorine, 1735, chlorine 1737. So both belong to chlorine. These isotopes having same atomic number, different mass number can be placed in the same group in one place of the periodic table. This was explained in the modern periodic law. And the next one is, as we discussed before, while the elements are placed according to the increasing order of their atomic numbers, even cobalt and nickel, the atomic number of cobalt is 27, whereas the nickel is 28. Even though there is a slight change in the increasing atomic number, so cobalt with lower atomic number should come first and nickel with higher atomic number should come later. Even their atomic masses are in the wrong order. So, the next one is position of hydrogen. The position of hydrogen has been discussed later because hydrogen has the property, it reacts like alkali metals, that is it loses electron to form H plus ions. Like non-metals, it accepts electrons. So therefore it is having a noble nature. At the same time, it reacts with oxygen to form oxides like H2O. It reacts with hydrogen to form hydrates like other metals. So therefore it is given a special position in the periodic table as it is the unique position. So all these were discussed in the modern periodic law. So now I am saying the modern periodic law, children. By heart it carefully, learn it and understand it. Only single line. I repeat, the properties of the elements are the periodic functions of their atomic numbers. The properties of elements are the periodic functions of the atomic numbers. That means you can see when the elements are arranged according to the increasing atomic numbers, there is a periodicity in the electronic configuration of elements. The periodicity in the electronic configuration of elements leads to the periodicity in their chemical properties. For example, what is meant by periodicity? You can see here in the table, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, all are in the same horizontal period. I told you, no? Yes. There you can see lithium, there is 1 valency electron. Beryllium, there is 2 valency electron. So if you see here, how is it changing? Yes, it is changing according to their electronic configurations. This has been explained in the modern periodic law. Now let us see in detail what is the modern periodic table. Yes, the modern periodic table is the arrangement of electrons in the modern long form of the table based on their increasing electronic configurations. You see the long form of periodic table, there are 18 vertical columns and 7 horizontal periods. That means there are 18 vertical lines. 18 vertical columns and 7 horizontal periods. So when we are going to learn in detail, let us learn about the periods. The horizontal rows of the periodic table are called periods. I repeat, horizontal rows of the periodic table are called periods. The vertical columns are called groups. So it has a peculiar name for each period. The first period is known as a very short period because it has only 2 elements, that is hydrogen and helium. The second period contains 8 elements called short period: lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. Children, please try to learn the elements till third period. The third period contains 8 elements. It is also called a short period: sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine and argon. The fourth period contains 18 elements. It is called as long period. So it has the elements from potassium to krypton. Fifth period contains 18 elements. It is also called long period. It has the elements from rubidium to xenon. Sixth period contains 32 elements. It is called a very long period. It starts from cesium to radon. Seventh period contains 32 elements. It is also called very long period. So in between we have the elements from 57 to 103. In between we call them as radioactive elements. So these are called as lanthanides and actinides. The number of elements in a period is fixed by maximum number of electrons which can be accommodated in the various shells of an atom. You can see the figures in each period are, children, please remember this: 2 in the first period, 8 in the second period, 8 in the third period, 18 in the fourth period, 18 in the fifth period, 32 elements in the sixth period and 32 elements in the seventh period. So the first period starts with hydrogen and ends with the noble gas helium. All other periods start with alkali metals like lithium, sodium, potassium and ends with the noble gas like neon, argon, krypton. So you can see, particularly we are going to learn what are the characteristics we are going to study. Here the vertical columns are there, 18 vertical columns called groups. Group 1 and 2, 13 and 17 contain normal elements. For example, 1 and 2 columns are called as metals. They are also called light metals, children. Group 1 is called alkali metals. Group 2 is called alkaline earth metals. Group 13 to 17 are called non-metals. And group 3 to 12 are called as heavy metals. Group 13 are called metalloids. Last group, 18th group, are called noble gases or inert gases. 17th group are called as halogens. 16th group are called as oxygen family. 15th group are called as nitrogen family. 14th group are called as carbon family. 13th group is called as boron family. Here you can see in each group, in the first group, hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. Children, please try to by heart the example. I repeat, take one group as example, means you can take, like you learn these three groups for example: hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. I repeat, hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. All these have the capability of losing one electron and becoming unipositive ions. For example, hydrogen loses one electron to become H+, lithium loses one electron to become Li+, sodium loses one electron to become Na+, potassium loses one electron to become K+, rubidium loses one electron to become Rb+, cesium+ and francium+. What do you understand by this? So, all the elements in the same group will have the same valency electrons, that is valency as 1. So, the number of bonds formed by the elements of the same group is same, or all the elements in a group have a similar character. Now, I would like to show you another example. See the second group in the second column in the periodic table: beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium. Beryllium loses 2 electrons to become Be+2. Magnesium loses 2 electrons to become Mg+2. Means why do they lose? To attain stability. Calcium loses 2 electrons to become stable. Cas+2. Sr, strontium +2. Barium +2. Radium +2. So the second group of the periodic table, we call it as alkaline earth metals. These will lose 2 electrons to become divalent, or we can say them as, they form 2 bonds like beryllium chloride, BeCl2, like that. So you can see 2 examples I told you to learn. One is light metals, that is alkali metals: hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. Second one is beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium and radium. If you cannot learn the second one, now these are very easy to learn. Please remember this: fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Till here you can learn. Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. What are these called as? These are belonging to the 17th group. These are called as halogens. If you see fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine and other 2 elements are not needed, children. If you see these, all these will have 7 electrons in its outermost orbit. Their valency is 7. 8 minus 7, 1. This belongs to non-metals. So, these can accept 1 electron to become octet configuration. F minus, Cl minus, Br minus, I minus. And the next example for groups is helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. What are all these? These have octet configuration. Helium, Ns2. Neon, Ns2, Np6. That means they have completely filled octet structures. So, they do not take part either in accepting the electrons or in donating the electrons. They have their charge as 0. They are also called as 0 elements, 18th group elements, inert gas elements, noble gases. So, this is about the long form of the periodic table. Now, coming to the position of hydrogen. Hydrogen is given as the first position because here you can say it has the nature like metals to lose the electrons and accept the electrons. Here one more important thing is the number of valence electrons is equal to its group number. For example, you can see in this periodic tables. Now we are going to learn about the important part, characteristics of periods and groups, in the next video. Thank you, children.